Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. EMBY just filed a current report on Form 8K, and it looks like they're giving us a peek at shareholder information. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is sharing a stockholder presentation, and we'll break down what that might mean for investors. Alright, so this is a pretty standard filing for EMBY Bancorp Inc. It is called a Form 8K, which is basically a report for current events that shareholders should know about. In this case, the main event is the release of a stockholder presentation. Think of it like a company giving a special update to its owners, outlining key information. This happened on the 17th of June 2026, and it is tied to their annual meeting of shareholders. This just tells us it is a filing under the rules of the Securities Exchange Act, which governs how publicly traded companies in the United States share information. It is all about transparency for investors. EMBY Bancorp Inc. is the company we are looking at. They are the parent company, and their main subsidiary is EMBY Bank for the Lehigh Valley. This tells us they are in the banking business. Looking at some recent news, it seems they've been quite busy lately, just on the 17th of June, a day before this filing. There was news that EMBY Bancorp was lifting its annual cash dividend. They are increasing it to 55 cents a share, which is a pretty good sign, marking their 17th year of increasing dividends. That is a strong track record. Added to that, there is also talk about them boosting their buyback plan along with that dividend growth. This usually indicates management's confidence in the company's future financial performance. The company is incorporated in Pennsylvania. For a bank, location can be important for understanding its operating environment and customer base. EMBY Bancorp is a regional bank focusing on the Lehigh Valley area. With 114 employees and a market cap of around $161 million, it is a smaller player in the banking industry, but its consistent dividend increases show some stability. This section just confirms their primary executive offices are in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It is good to know where the company is headquartered, but for this filing, the real meat is in the presentation itself, which is attached as an exhibit. This item, Regulation FD disclosure, is key. Regulation FD, or fair disclosure, means that when a company shares important information with some investors, they have to share it with everyone. So, by filing this presentation as part of an 8K, they are making sure all investors have access to the same important information simultaneously. This presentation likely contains financial and other strategic updates that shareholders should be aware of, especially around the annual meeting. This is where they list what documents are included with this filing. In this case, the most important one is Exhibit 99.1. Exhibit 99.1 is the actual stockholder presentation, the 17th of June 2026. This is what we would be looking for if we wanted to dive deep into the company's current performance and future outlook. While the filing itself is brief, it points us to this more detailed document. Since we don't have the full presentation content here, we have to rely on the context provided by the filing and related news. Given the surrounding news about dividend increases and buyback plans, the presentation likely highlights strong financial performance and a positive outlook. The fact that they are increasing their dividend for the 17th consecutive year is a very strong signal of financial health and a commitment to returning value to shareholders. This kind of consistency is rare and usually speaks to a stable and profitable business model. It is important to remember that while dividend increases are positive, they are not always a guarantee of future success. Economic downturns or unexpected challenges can still impact any company. The external news also mentions insider buying by Michael Macy just a day before this filing. This is often seen as a bullish signal, suggesting that company insiders believe the stock is undervalued or has good prospects. Looking at institutional holders, Philadelphia Trust Company and Siena Capital Partners GP, LLC hold significant stakes. This indicates that professional investors are also keeping a close eye on EMBY Bancorp. What I find most compelling here is the combination of consistent dividend growth and insider buying suggesting management's confidence. However, without the actual stockholder presentation, it is hard to get the full picture of their financial health and strategic direction. The core of this filing is really to ensure that this presentation is public information, adhering to fair disclosure rules. My biggest concern is that this 8K itself offers very little detail, acting primarily as a cover for the stockholder presentation. To get a real understanding, one would need to review that presentation thoroughly. What I am actually looking for is any specific details within that presentation that might indicate future growth drivers or any new risks the bank is facing. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and join our Discord in the description.